Welcome to the AI Opus, or as we like to call it, TEO. I'm Sarah, and here with me is the always curious Mike. Hey Mike, how's it going today?
Doing great, Sarah. Ready to dive in. There's been a lot happening in the AI world over just the last 24 hours. Where do we start?
Let's kick off with OpenAI. They've been making headlines for a few reasons. First up, something wild came out of Google's ongoing antitrust trial. An OpenAI executive actually testified that OpenAI would be interested in buying Google Chrome if the court ever forced Google to sell it off.
Wait, really? OpenAI wants to buy Chrome? That seems like a huge leap from being an AI company to owning the world's most popular browser.
It is, but it makes sense strategically. Chrome isn't just a browser, it's a gateway to so much user data and online behavior. For any company working on AI, especially one focused on search and web interaction like OpenAI, owning Chrome could be a massive advantage.
I get that, but isn't Chrome pretty tightly tied to Google's whole ecosystem?
Exactly, and that's why the DOJ is considering remedies like forcing Google to sell Chrome or stop making deals to be the default search engine. Google is pushing back, saying it would hurt user security. But the DOJ's angle is that Google's dominance in both search and AI creates this synergy that's tough for anyone else to compete with.
Sounds like a real tug of war. What else is OpenAI up to?
They've also just launched a partnership with the Washington Post. Now ChatGPT will summarize and link to Post articles, which expands OpenAI's content collaborations to over 20 media partners.
So, if I ask ChatGPT about a news event, it might pull info straight from the Washington Post.
That's right. It'll summarize and provide links for full context. It's part of a wider trend of AI companies teaming up with news outlets to boost credibility and depth.
Nice. Anything else from OpenAI?
Oh, lots. They just released a new images API for their latest image generation model, GPT Image 1. It's now available to developers and already integrated into tools like Adobe Firefly, Figma, and soon Canva and Instacart.
So does that mean I could design something in Canva and use OpenAI's image model to generate visuals?
Exactly. It's about making advanced image generation accessible right where people already work. And on the model side, OpenAI just debuted GPT 4.1 and some smaller versions. The big news is a massive 1 million token context window, which is huge for handling complex documents, and big improvements in coding and instruction following.
1 million tokens. That's like reading an entire book at once, right?
Pretty much. It means the model can keep track of way more information at a time, which is super helpful for things like legal analysis or big research tasks.
Speaking of Google, what's happening on their end?
Well, aside from the antitrust drama, Google revealed some stats about Gemini, their AI model. Turns out Gemini had 350 million monthly active users in March, way up from just 9 million daily users back in October.
Wow, that's explosive growth. But how does it stack up against ChatGPT?
ChatGPT still leads with about 600 million monthly users, and Meta AI is at around 500 million. So Gemini is catching up, but not quite at the top yet.
Got it. Let's talk cars for a second. I heard something about BMW and Chinese AI.
Yes, BMW is partnering with DeepSeek, a Chinese AI company, to add their tech into BMW vehicles sold in China later this year. It's all about smart cockpit features. Think voice controls, intelligent displays, that sort of thing.
DeepSeek, is their AI only for cars?
Not at all. Their technology is also used in legal drafting and healthcare. They're even planning to launch a next-gen model called R2 soon.
Neat. What about Descript? I've used their podcast editor before.
They just launched an AI co-editor for video. It's kind of like having a smart assistant that helps write scripts, edit footage, fix audio, and even make multilingual versions. They're calling it a vibe coding tool. Basically, it brings some creative flair to editing.
That sounds like a dream for content creators.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears to enterprise AI, LTI-Mindtree reported their latest financials. Growth was modest, but they saw strong AI-led order inflows and struck a Google partnership for agentic AI, which is all about more autonomous decision-making AI systems.
So companies are betting big on AI, even if overall growth is a bit slow.
You got it. And speaking of efficiency, Zero Labs launched Compact AI, a platform that runs large language models on regular CPUs without the usual compression tricks. They're partnering with IIT Madras to boost model support.
That could make AI more accessible for companies that can't afford high-end hardware, right?
Exactly. It's a big deal for democratizing AI.
What's new on the video AI front?
Sand AI released Magi 1, an openly licensed video generation model. But, interestingly, their hosted version censors politically sensitive content, like anything related to Xi Jinping or Tiananmen Square, to comply with Chinese regulations.
That's a tricky balance between OpenAI and local laws.
It really is. Another interesting tidbit, Anysphere, the company behind the Cursor coding assistant, has turned down acquisition offers, even one from OpenAI. They're exploring other funding options, while OpenAI reportedly has its eye on another startup called Windsurf, possibly for around $3 billion.
OpenAI is always on the hunt, huh? What about Elon's XAI?
XAI added some nifty features to its Grok chatbot: smartphone camera image analysis, multilingual audio, and real-time search on iOS. Android users who subscribe to Super Grok can even use voice mode.
So Grok is becoming more of a full-service assistant.
Exactly. Now, on the funding side, Noxtua, formerly known as Zane, raised over €80 million to build a sovereign European legal AI called Beck Noxtua. It's trained on German law and hosted entirely on EU cloud infrastructure.
That's a big move for legal tech in Europe.
It is. And Andor Labs raised $93 million to pivot from open-source security to securing AI-generated code. They're integrating with tools like GitHub Copilot and Cursor, and already protect millions of apps with over 1 million weekly scans.
Security is definitely top of mind. Any other cool product news?
Fireflies.ai just released over 200 mini apps, think domain-specific tools for sales, HR, customer service, that automatically extract insights from meeting transcripts and connect with apps like Salesforce and Slack.
That'll save teams a ton of time.
For sure. Now, on the hardware front, TSMC unveiled their A14 manufacturing process and a new system on Wafer X technology. These chips will be 15% faster or use 30% less power compared to their previous N2 chips, and they plan to build new fabs in Arizona.
That's good news given all the AI demand for chips. How about Meta?
Meta is expanding its Ray-Ban smart glasses to 7 more European countries, adding features like voice Q&A, live translation, and a visual assistant. So more people in Europe can now interact with Meta AI literally through their glasses.
That's wild. AI in your eyewear. Any automotive updates?
Bosch just landed its first Chinese order for AI-enhanced vehicle cockpits. Production starts this year, and we're talking about 6-digit unit volumes, so big scale.
That's a lot of smart cars rolling out soon. What about regulatory news?
The UAE's new Regulatory Intelligence Office got approved to use AI for legislative drafting and review. The idea is to monitor the impact of laws in real time and speed up reforms by up to 70%, which is pretty ambitious.
Very futuristic. Any pop culture headlines?
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences just updated its Oscars rules. Now, they say using AI doesn't help or hurt a film's nomination chances, but human creative authorship is still key. Also, Academy members must now watch all nominated films before voting.
I guess that's one way to keep things fair and human.
Last but not least, there's a looming global trade war on tech. Some countries are slapping tariffs as high as 145% on certain tech goods. That's threatening data center expansion and AI investments. And even big tech firms are pausing projects despite planning to spend $155 billion this year.
Wow, that's a lot to digest. So AI is moving fast, but so are the challenges.
Absolutely. And that's a wrap for today's whirlwind tour of AI news and funding. Thanks for hanging out with us on TAO. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mike. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you next time.
See you soon.